Okay, good morning everyone, and my name is Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, I've got two big pallets here, and I would like to make two big apple crates out of them. And this is going to be a simple build, but there's limitations. There's going to be two primary limitations, as you can see, outlined in the rules. Rule 1, pallet wood only. Well, this is a pallet, it's wood, it's good. And then this is the one I'm most concerned about, is I am limiting myself to just hand tools for this. So it's gonna be fun, but it's also gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have to do nails. And if you don't know anything about me, you must know I am not a fan of nailing. But yeah, but first tea. You gotta get some tea brewing this morning. See, I think this is actually the soonest I've ever started to stream in my time zone, which coincidentally today has also been one of the earliest days I've ever woke up. Because my body was like, hey buddy, you're done sleeping, but I would like to sleep some more. Body's like, nope. Sorry buddy, you're ready to tackle the day now. And I'm like, aww. But yeah, I got up at like 4 a.m. this morning. So, unnecessarily early. Very unnecessarily early. So, it's probably a little bit hard for some of you all to see, but there are staples in this. And I've also got staples on the other end of the world. I got staples down here. Granted, I love having this on my. This is my like work table when I do the campfire cooking streams, or at least the table that holds the setup. So, figuring out how to get these staples out is going to be the first part, because honestly, I can't pulling that out of there with not hitting a cable. Fun, but yeah, one of the fun parts of what I'm doing, or at least one of the points, is going to be on why people. I wanted to save that. Is why people don't use pallet wood. And that's because pallet wood takes processing. Sometimes a lot, sometimes little. This might be middle ground, I would say. Granted, those staples weren't as deep as I was anticipating. Because for my staples, I like to use a good set of lineman pliers for staple removal. There we go. Yeah, actually not a real whole lot of heft to it. And then I'm going to save all my fasteners and I can, so that way it makes it easier for me to actually do the recycling for them. Sure. Step 1 is going to be removing nails from said pallet. And then we get to actually do slightly funner stuff, which will be breaking the pallet down. Whoa! That's a big hornet. Please don't sting me. I would like to have a good Sunday morning. I'm anticipating a good Sunday morning, and I'd like for it to stay that way. Woo! But yeah, I hope everyone out there is having a good Sunday morning. Granted, I did actually get to watch the sunrise, and that was actually kind of nice. Because I want to spin the pallet, but not the thing that spins. So we gotta go to the other side of the world to remove staples on this side of the world. or at least the surface ones. And let's see here. Granted, with all my preparation time, I had plenty of time to actually get all my tools together, though, which was nice. It's not every day I get time to get all my tools together. So then we'll move to far side for the final two staples. Okay, siding. And there we go. Woo! Let's get you out. And staples are short. Wonder how long that hornet's going to be in here. Okay. So we got staples. So these are. So I actually have two of these pallets. We're gonna start breaking down the first one. But the reason why we're using these pallets for a build is traditionally pallet wood really doesn't have a lot of heft to it. And if I act nervous and at any point in time today, it's probably because there's a hornet very close to me. But yeah, this pallet wood is very much nearly a full inch thick. This wood has heft to it, which is why I save these pallets from work, because they have heft. Now, traditionally, pallet wood is a little bit more like this. Like here's kind of just a standard run off a standard pallet. And this wood is no, it's not 3/4. It's 5/8. It's 5/8 thick, which you can use it for some things. It definitely has applications, but generally it's trash. Generally speaking, it is trash wood. But what we're working with is a little bit heftier and got some meat to it. So it's worth playing with. And this is gonna be, there's gonna be a lot of banging and clanging this stage. Pretty sure I'm on that nail. It's the thing with the nails, I don't want to pull the nail through, because if I pull the nail through, it's gonna be a bad time for me. There we go. But yeah, these are also the types of nails that they use for these pallets. They're a twisted nail. They grip really well. The issue with twisted nails is they're can be a pain to remove. This one's playing nice, so thank you for that. And that one's just wanting to come out. Now, one of the reasons why stuff that's like nailed together like this, granted this is especially a case in this piece of wood, is this nail, when it was fastened in, caused a pretty good split to develop in the wood. So from where my finger is on up, probably not very usable. but I'm not actually planning to use these pieces of the pallet. Got no plans for that. I'm interested in these meat boys. Those are the boards I'm interested in, but I do want to take the time to break everything down. And I'm hoping, it's pulling apart. Okay, come here, you. And wow. Okay. You want to be tough? That's why I've got a hammer and crowbar. Oh, there we go. Oh, hello, Yoshinaru. How are you on this lovely Sunday? Let's see. Can we just travel down the board? We're going to try and travel down the board. And woo! Sweet! Now time to the first side. And I'm hearing splitting sounds. I don't like splitting sounds. There we go! Woo! We got our first board freed. And there's only 6 nails on it. Yay. So, how about we do you too? And this is when everyone finds out I can't swing a hammer straight. Saved my life. I'm doing good. I was surprised you were streaming, so I just wanted to pop in. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I have gotten like viewers from other parts of the world before, and it's really hard for me to actually like stream in AM hours because of work, and I also volunteer on Saturdays sometimes. So Sunday morning is like my only morning when I can reliably stream in the morning. So I try to do that when I can. And then also when I did the channel introduction video, I noticed it got a lot of views in the early AM from my time zone. So I wanted to kind of push myself a little bit and kind of stream at a slightly earlier time. This also means I'll get done a little bit sooner, so I have a little bit more time for lunch before I go hanging out with my friend. Because that's usually what I do, and I have bent the nail. It is a very undesirable outcome. Bent nail is a very undesirable outcome. Granted, that nail's loose, but it is also that nail is also very deeply buried. So I'm going to try and save this. It's easiest to hammer these guys out, because otherwise actually, wait a second. Maybe if I commit to my mistake, that is not the outcome I wanted. Womp womp. So, probably won't be able to do that number. I wonder. Actually, we're gonna try something. I can't wait to see more people in the chat. Did crazy plan work? Crazy plan worked. Yes. Yay. But yeah, it'll be fun when things get a little bit more lively around here. Granted, I'm perfectly okay keeping things cozy. But yeah, that is our first board with its first set of nails removed. And I don't know if okay, so these do have nails in them. So I've got 2 nails in each of those. I got to worry about all that, but that is our first piece of lumbers from our first pallet. But yeah, this is just going to be an advertisement on why people build stuff out of pallet wood. The amount of processing time is just too much. So, I'll take care of this part. Woo! That's the thing with those twist nails, man. Like, they hold. I mean, granted, they're meant to hold. Because, well, this is a very overbuilt pallet. And it's overbuilt for a good reason. Boy. Man, that's just not... Man, that nail's not letting go. But yeah, this pallet's overbuilt. And honestly, I'm probably just not going to worry about that nail. I don't know. Let's see here. I'll try bending it back out. And if I can get it bent somewhat straight. Pliers. Ah! Mr. Spock! Hello, hello. Oh! Can't believe I actually managed to pull that off. There we go. There we go. And that's a piece of wood fully denailed. And that's loose there. Good morning, Angela. Oh no. Ooh, I hear wood splitting sounds. That's very undesirable. There we go. Woo! Good old overly built pallets. And they are overly built because these things are meant to carry oil furnaces. And for those who don't know what an oil furnace is a furnace that basically burns diesel fuel for home heating. And because the furnace burns diesel fuel, it's very overbuilt. I think the furnace that this pallet carried weighed like over 300 pounds. which is why the wood is so sizable. It's because, well, they had to make it sturdy. And I'm probably also going to get very tired of hammering at some point, but hey, that's fine. I suppose I can just, at the end of the day, consider it nailing practice. Okay. So we're going to move over to this side of the world. You behaved nicely. And other one did not. That one. Ooh, I built my chicken coops out of pallet. Nice. Big heavy hammer and a piece of 4x4 separates the pallet boards easy. Man, I work with programs that help people get help with heating. Oil heating sucks. Most of my clients are suburban, urban. Yeah. See, so fuel oil is actually on its way out. Mostly because it's stupidly expensive, because now a gallon of diesel fuel is like 134,000 BTUs. It's a lot of BTUs. Also, if you have the thin ones, you can sometimes use those to spread boards. Honestly, this thing is my pretty standard go-to if I just want to separate it, which, I mean, this is actually built with, like, these are proper nails. These are proper nails. Other pallets, for example, this runner board here, it's actually just built with just staples. And these staples are the most gnarly thing in the world, because they are very long. They are long. They go into pieces like this, but like, what's this, like an 1.5-inch staple, if not more, something like that. But yeah, they'll use staples this big to affix wood that is yay big. And sometimes when you're trying to separate these boards off these, as you can see, I still have staples here. Me still having staples here means I had to pull the wood through the staple. So this actually being made of actual nails is actually a good thing, at least as far as usability of the lumber, because it's easier to remove nails. It's just, well, generally easy if they don't bend on me like this guy. This guy's, it's guys like these that give me trouble. But I think I just had a brain blast earlier of gripping it with my pliers and then hammering my pliers to, well, it worked earlier. Let's see here. Straighten. We're gonna just try to go for the straighten out route. And we'll see how that guy comes out. Doesn't want to come out. That's it. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'll probably just, because I've got cutters on these, I can just cut it. But that did what I wanted it to do, because now I have a nail head sticking out. But that's also kind of the reason why the nail heads, sometimes these nail heads will get like buried into the wood, because what happens is these, so as you can see, these boards have a bit of a natural, natural unnatural spalted pattern to them. That's because this board was wet when this pallet was put together. So these nails were installed while the wood was green, and the wood has now shrunk. You can always snip and pin it. Yeah. Yep. Which is... Oh. That's not going to come out like that. I have to straighten that. I got to straighten myself out. Reciprocal saw with metal cutting blade works good? Yeah. But that's the problem. I can't use the reciprocating saw. It's not allowed under the rules. The rules. It violates Rule 2. I can't use it. I mean, thanks for the suggestions. I mean, really all this comes down to is just effort. Which that's literally... I don't have one of those. Yeah, I've got a... Actually, my only Milwaukee tool is a Sawzall. You can use it, just not plugged in. Oh. Well, hello and hello, welcome in. Wait, my nails are here. Zoo. Sorry. I'm very American and don't get names right. Oh, wait. Ooh, that's exciting. Well, so I have two boards, well, two nails, and as you can see, one nail is longer than the other nail. The other nail here snapped and is in the wood, so there's still going to be metal on this wood. Which is exciting. Woo! I've got an angle grinder though. Ah, the good old angle grinder. Whoa! Wait. Is that where that snapped off? Woo-hoo-hoo. You poor thing. That's a plier. Oh, it's too early for me. Well, I try to do early streams for other people in other parts of the world. And this will come out. I just need to make sure if my hand flies somewhere, it doesn't fly into anything. Oh! I saw your intro vid and I subscribed, now I'm here. Well, glad you're here. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay, so here's like the head of that nail. Absolutely gnarled. But the weird thing is, it has this metal, it has like a metal pen off to the side. Like, that's a metal pen. And I don't know, it looks to be like a bit of copper, but I'm not sure where that copper would have came from. I'm just gonna go back to sleep while watching. Okay. I have an old hardwood pallet that has the bottom wood dry rotted. Ah. But yeah, there's our second long board. Ah, new chicken coop, nice. Yeah, I've worked in a couple of warehouses that have had like nice hardwood pallets that are meant to be like, please stay, that are meant to be like reused, and those nice pallets are nice pallets. They are truly nice pallets. Okay, so we're going to continue our excavation of sorts of pallet. Granted, I'm trying to figure out where the base place to get my bar in. And that's, ooh, yeah, now we're slipped in. thing is you really got to be careful. And you got to get your pry bar as close to your nail heads, which is really important if you don't want to damage the board. Oh, that's a nice pop. Granted, I'm curious as to where these nails are in. How many nails I got? I got 2. Okay, so it's behaving consistently. I like consistent behavior. I'm not sure how much consistent behavior I'm going to get out of this, but any consistent behavior is good behavior. Okay. And oftentimes it's just kind of like the thing, is you just kind of got to work the board out. Ooh, I hear lots of splitting. I might be leaving a nail behind on this one. And there we go. Board is free. I hit pay dirt a few years ago, got over 100 pallets, 5K away. Oh man, that's close. That's real close. I mean, luckily for me, I got these. Ooh, thunder off in the distance. Okay. Ooh. Wow. Very. And one end is rounded, other end is square. But that's fine. We're just building crates. Okay. I'm not. And that's all, brother. Look, you get, yeah. I always gotta like it when you can like score a whole bunch of stuff all at once like that. Sort of like when I got I built some marijuana planters out of some pallets. 4x4x4 planters. Ah, nice. I'm thinking one of my builds over the winter months is I'm thinking about maybe building a planter out of some cedar I have laying around because I'm thinking about having like a small herb garden somewhere in my like general driveway area. Because I actually finally got successful enough to actually grow thyme. Let's see. We're gonna try. Lineman's pliers. One of the best tools in the world. Truly one of the best tools in the world. Super useful pliers. Oop. I don't have the slightest bit of association, yet here I am. Cedar is expensive wood. So I'm not sure where you're at on the location on the rotation, Mr. Spock, but cedar around me actually isn't too expensive, and by cedar I'm talking about Eastern red cedar, Juniperus virginianae. I got samples. I've got offcuts. Granted, I also have a big pile of cedar. But yeah, this is the cedar I have. And I could buy 4x4s by 8s of the cedar for I think 13 bucks. 13 bucks sounds about right. Which, I mean, 13 bucks for a 4x4 by 8, like 8 foot long. Like this is just an offcut I have lying around. It's fairly reasonable, and that's because luckily, I have a sawmill near me that specializes in just cutting cedar wood. And also, my state has a lot of limestone, and this Eastern red cedar grows in it kind of like slightly more alkaline soils than some other trees will tolerate. So it actually, there's a lot of it growing here too. So I've been able to get it at real fair. Well, I'd say maybe not so much fair, but like just really good pricing. I have access to really good pricing on cedar. So that's kind of the reason why I use it, because I have access to it. It's also kind of the reason why, if you see, you guys probably can't see it too well, but if you see piles of pinkish purple sawdust, yeah, it's from cedar, which has been the wood I've been doing a lot of my builds with, just because I literally I bought a whole bunch recently, and yeah, it's been good stuff. It's been good stuff. Granted, I do want to diversify. I want to try working with other woods at some point. And that fell. You did not fall. Into the can. So, yay! That's our first small board. Very insubstantial piece of... definitely a little bit lacking compared to some of the other stuff we've acquired, but still reasonables. So, these are actually reasonably loose. So I'm hoping these pull out pretty easy. Maybe in a little... Nah. Just the right amount of optimism. Woo! And now I have a nice... Granted, these are pretty good solid little blocks. Great for putting like an engine on, I would say. Okay. Now, time for the next one. Let's see. Can I... That one's going to take some hammerings. Now, the thing I gotta keep in mind while I make progress on this is I have nails sticking out. So I'm not allowed to fall. I'm extra not allowed to fall. Sunday's a bad day to get impaled. Granted, any day is a bad day to get impaled. Okay. So, our pallet is looking like less and less of a pallet all the time. So, let's see here. Get this started. Ooh. And... Ooh, yeah. I love it when they cooperate. For the most part. Oh! Oh! Oh, that's interesting. So my block also loosened. There's actually enough room for a couple fingers, so that's going to come out. That's going to come out real easy. Let's see what we can accomplish on the other side of the world then. Holy, 45. Oh, there we go. Dang, those nails were just like right close together. Granted, that's going to make them easy to hammer out. And then these are separated. But yeah, that thing. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If I were to go to a home center, yeah, I'll be paying around those prices. Like if I went to a Lowe's or a Home Depot. Woo! That one was real stiff. I'll be paying around that price, but since I actually have a local mill, well, Well, local by an hour away. I know some people have different definitions of local. Okay. So that's got some play to it. I'm gonna put the stab nails down. And just kinda work this block out. There we go, block out. Oh dang, now I realized I missed your making salsa stream. Don't worry about it. I was just making salsa with Costco ingredients. Pretty benign stuff. Pretty simple stuff. Fun, though. I had fun. That was good fun. So, these nails have a little bit of a curve to them. I'm gonna be really crossing my fingers here and hoping that these hammer out easily. It might be blind optimism, but it's optimism. Okay, so one failure, one success. Let's just be life. So, what I'm gonna do for this guy is, let's see if we can't reasonably straighten them out. The handy dandy pliers. That was at a really good working surface. My house frame is made with oversized seats. That's gotta be so nice. Honestly, what you're doing is fun as long as you have fun doing it. Yes! Yes! Oh man, I'm jealous of the oversized cedar wood frame house. Man. Okay. Let's see, can I get any more hits? More hits. Lovely. And I have nail heads exposed. Yay, exposed nail heads. Granted. Actually, I probably shouldn't be counting nails. Don't count nails, Sugi. It's gonna be way too much work. Well, it's too much work, and also let's try. Granted, I have definitely lost a lot of height off. Exposed nail heads. My oh no, I'm worried about the I'm worried about the tail end, because I got ouchie doodles. Granted, we did talk about my first aid kit, so I do have first aid kit now. So yay! And then that's another piece of wood. That's another piece of wood. Onto the table. Well, you can rest on the table saw while I dream about using a table saw. Okay. And with the magic of casters, ooh, that's got a split in it. Oh. I heard a whole bunch of noise. That's more than ouchie doodles. That's a major whoopsie. Personally, my Yoshi's is Pliers Coon. Hey, Pliers Coon is like this is a workhorse. I finally got the hinge onto my bellows, so productive morning. Nice, very nice. Oh wow, it actually just has a gap in it. I'm going to take advantage of that gap. And... oh. Oh. Pliers comes an OG. Oh. The thing with pliers... thing is with pliers cone, that's just like one of the best tools. Okay, and block. Oh, there we go, block. Now, if I only lived in a more redneck area of the world, I could decorate my front yard with engine blocks on 4x4s. Granted, that's not where I live. Granted, some of the jokes are that I live close to where that behavior is commonplace, but... oh! Did not get the... actually, wait a second. What's my leverage like? The universal tool. It's just a tool with many other uses, which makes it a really good tool. Because that's kind of one of the things that makes... that's one of the good judge of tools is like how many uses it has. Granted, there's definitely something to be said of tools that have one use and are really good at that one use. This may not have been the optimal. Ooh, you know what? Wait, how's my access to the ultimate universal tool? Because I think I just want a little bit more leverage. Little bit more leverage on this one. It's being very fighty with me. But yeah, the every light novel's protagonist's favorite tool. Sometimes even use it as a hammer. Yeah, especially if you got like a sufficiently beefy lineman's, you can actually make for a pretty good hammer. So I do have a little bit of separation. Definitely put tools in a tier list. Oh man. Oh man. Thing is, if I were to do a tier list stream, that feels a little too much like normal VTuber. Oh. Okay. Well, I hope these sounds aren't ringing in your ears as badly as mine. Blocks on pallets are the worst. Sometimes I just cut boards short not to deal with them. But the blocks are fun. They're fun blocks. Yeah. Woohoo! And that's the last block. And now the top of my like little work area here is just covered in things that can hurt me badly. I love it when I work around dangerous things. Before I realize, I am the most dangerous thing of them all. You start playing with danger as soon as you start having a shop. Yeah, I came from the VTuber community. I mean, that's like one of the funniest things is like when I get people from outside the VTuber community in here. And their first questions are like, where the hell on the internet did I end up? And it's like, welcome to the tool injury tier list. Oh no. Oh no. Now this is enough stuff for a stream. But ooh, it's getting cloudy outside. I really hope I get rain today. I really want rain. I can avoid watering things if I get good rain today. Okay. And that seems to be repeating the pattern. One success, one failure. But hey, we've got, yes! Yes! Getting rain. I'm getting rain. I am very excited for rain. Granted, I did still water my garden yesterday because I know if I didn't water my garden yesterday, it would not rain. I had to water the garden yesterday. I had to water the garden so that way there would be like some water out in the world for it to rain. But yes. Now I just hope I actually get like a good like hour's worth of rain. That'd be great. Let's see here. I might have to. I really got to straighten you out, buddy. I got to straighten you out, Buster. Ooh, man, that's a term I haven't heard in a while. That's something I haven't thought about in a while. Being called Buster. Let's see, that felt like it was pulling me in. It was not. And that's the thing with like some of these nails is like they are just buried into the pallet wood, which is what makes doing what I'm attempting to do difficult. Now, granted, at the end of the day, I could just probably saw off the parts that have nails, which that's technically the easy way to do this, but hey, I'm trying to... One of the points of this is to convince people to not use pallet wood. Yeah, that just keeps bending. So, let's see here. So if it's just going to bend on me at that point. Well, no success there. But nature's making me happy with the rain. So, let's see if I'm man enough for this. Not one-handed. Woo! Ah! That's going to be the hard part. Yep, that's the hard part. Oh! Well, the rain's turned into a deluge. I don't know if I'm man enough, man. Aw, man. I knew I should have eaten my Wheaties this morning. But I didn't eat my Wheaties this morning. Woo! Did I at least make it weak? Okay. So I think I made this weak enough. I did make it weak enough. Yay! Oh yeah. Nail. So it's at least not another thing I could... Oh wait, I still got 2 other stabby parts of this board. Better fix the stabby parts. And success. See you, dude. I'll be watching your other streams and VODs, mostly cooking next time. It's actually pretty late here. Okay. Well, you have a good night. Take care. And actually, next week is going to be... I'm only doing 2 streams next week, but they'll both be cooking streams. So, something to look forward to. And then I'll probably have a schedule out later, at some point today. Not entirely sure when today, but eventually. Okay. I know these nails are not very vertical, so I'm gonna hopefully get them a little bit more vertical. Hopefully they'll work out. Okay. Yay, first one easy. Next up. Yes! Daiseikyo. Which means big success. I just wanted to say I love watching you, especially when writing or cleaning. Oh, thank you! I was a little unsure about today because of how bang clangy it's going to be. Because it's going to be lots of tool noises. Granted, it's going to get better once we actually get into, like, actually doing a little bit more of going from the destructive process of breaking stuff down to actually putting stuff together. Okay, let's see what I can get here. I love it. And then there's that. Fold up to here. One a nail, two a nail. And with that, that finishes up this board. Completely de-nailed. No nails here. No nails here, nothing to get stabbed up by. Whew. So, next victim, and the last board for this pallet. Which, it's like... Let's see here. It's gonna be a little bit awkward, but well, it actually worked out pretty well. Worked out pretty well. There we go. Drop that. Take this. Flip it around, huh? So, for this one, let's see here. I'm gonna try and straighten that out. We'll see how well it plays. We'll see how nicely it plays with me. That was the easy one. I love it. Wait. Nail. And nail. Okay, let's see what we can do. Kind of try to straighten these guys out. Because the straighter I get them, easier life I'm gonna have. Wow. Nice downpour. That means less garden watering for me. And bada bang, bada boom. Pallet is now gone. It's been reduced to boards. So, let's see here. We're going to take you, set you up over there. And time to grab some tea. I love Earl Grey tea so much. But yeah, that's pallet 1. But I actually have 2 pallets, but I do have a lot. You can kind of see a bit of wood debris, and that happens from when I was hammering out those nails, because the wood shrunk after the nails were inserted. When the nails came out, the head of those nails actually flaked off bits of wood. And that's all this flaky stuff down here. But yeah, pallet wood is a very undesirable material to work with. Hello, second victim. Are you having a good day? I hope you're having a good day, buddy. I'm having a great day. I'm having a wonderful day. You're gonna have a good day too. Yeah, because these pallets are actually made when the wood's wet. It's not super dry. And when wood's wet and dries, it shrinks. And it shrinks over the nail heads. Oh yeah, I gotta do that first. I don't want to do that. I gotta remove the staples first. Then I can actually start breaking. Which, removing the staples is really good plier coon job. Really great at getting the staples out. Let's see. I need a little bit more, please, and thank you. There we go. Now Plier Coon can do his job. But I'm also taking the nails out. Well, not the nails, the staples out first, because the weight of the pallet helps stabilize everything. So when I go to pull the nails out, the pallet doesn't want to lift, which may have been something that some of you may have noticed when I was getting really close to the end of the last one, when I was doing my various working on it. It would shift. That shifting is because it... By the way, I wanted to ask if you have a tag for fan art. I actually don't have a fan art tag. Just because I've just never, like, thought I would get to that point. Fire. And staple. But I suppose I should probably make one at some point. Which, you know what, I might make that one of my considerings today, is figuring out a tag for that. Just set tools in the center. Set tools in the center. This is on casters. Actually, we'll position this here. Because pretty much my main, well, we'll be waiting when you do. Oh, okay. Because really this just started out like, well, this whole channel started out as a like, hey, I want to see VTubers do stuff I'm interested in. Like break down pallets and then teach chat why breaking down pallets is not necessarily a fun thing. Unless you want to, maybe we can help come up with it. Yeah. Now I picked up this thing, a good old hatchet, in an estate sale recently, and I actually used this to go absolute destructo on some pallets, which this was amazing for because it has this nice like hammer part to it. So for the thinner boards of other pallets, it was real easy to just like either knock the pallet off the main runners or just absolutely destroy it. I had way too much fun with using this. Really glad I actually bought this. This was a great $3 purchase. I think it was a $3. No, because I bought it on Sunday. And Sunday was, well, was Sunday half off? Or was this just the whole sale being half off? I want to say I bought this on a Saturday though. But yeah, it's real old. It's got like a nice patina to the steel. And I've put a decent blade on it, like a decent edge. But that thing was fun. That thing was just so much fun to break down pallets. Plier. Right in front of me. Of course, that's where it would end up. That's where that ends up. And sweet. That takes care of staples on this side of the world. And position my tools in the center, so that way they're easily grabbable for when we mosey on over to the other side of the world. Okay. So I'm not seeing staples there. Great. I have one right here. One staple. And bring that in. There we go. Do a nice lift. Get plier coon involved. Granted, all that talk of plier coon and various tools is like, man, maybe I should do a tier list stream at some point. There we go. First round of tea is done. And oh. Yay. And we'll... Oh, that's the sound. That's the fun sound. Whew. Okay. Don't do that, Sugi. Don't bend over your nail. That's bad. Nail will not want to come out if you do that. And you want the nail to come out. We would really like it if the nail would come out. Because reasons. Yeah. And yep. Let's see here. Ooh. Yikes. I have a big old century barn I need to dismantle. Oh. On one hand, it's like, oh goodness gracious, that sounds like so much work, but oh my goodness gracious, that sounds like such fun work. Man, I wish I was in that. I wish I was in that situation. Yeah. Did you get attached a little bit? Attached a little bit. Man. Dismantling an old barn. I am very glad I don't have a truck in my life. Because if I had a truck in my life, and I went onto the Facebook marketplaces and I saw people were like, here's a barn, come and get it. It has to go down, but oh boy, salvage some timbers. Yes. Them timbers, man. And those be good timbers too. especially depending on the age of the thing. There we go. Granted, weird thing with this one is it actually has 2 smooth sides, whereas like the other sides are rough. And it has a big old knot because, well, this is low-grade lumber. Shucks, some of the things that, especially like old barns, man, some of the stuff they got to build those barns out of is unreal. That's actually one of the few sources of wood if you wanted to get your hands on chestnut, like American chestnut. Sometimes old barns will have chestnut timbers in them. And then if you get your hands on chestnut, then you get to work with a wood that hardly anyone gets to work with. And that is the issue. That is a thing. That's a thing that happens. I tried how valuable old timbers are, and they just don't get it. Frame has no nails. Ah. Oh, that's good stuff. Ooh. Let's try. Let's see if we can actually be successful here. This corner's just got old wide floor. Oh. Wait, is that pulling or digging? Sounds like it's both. It's doing both. But it is separating. Granted, I think that one nail I pulled through. Oh, my goodness gracious. Conversation has turned into things that deeply excite me. Glue and clamps fix a lot of splits. Yeah. Well, it's also going to depend on like the amount of lumber I want to get out of this, because I haven't figured out my final dimensions for this. Granted, one of the issues is they got Eager Beaver with this pallet. Yep. So my last pallet had 2 nails per area. This one, they use 3 nails per area. So it's a lot. This one's a lot better put together, which sucks for me. But that's what the Punisher's for. Oh. Yeah, because I think this is just gonna. This one's actually gonna split bad. Yeah, this thing is gonna split. How big can an apple be? I don't know. Apples can be pretty big. Apples can come in big sizes and small sizes. Apples are also a member of the Rosaceae family, and as a member of the Rosaceae family, they have some absolute wild genetics to them. Wow. Yeah, this thing is a lot more sturdily built, and that's not good. Not good for me. Because I can feel... I was putting enough torque on this to actually kind of feel the spring a little bit. Which, for those keeping track at home, is a fair amount of torque. And this might actually have to be something I do on the floor. Because I'll have to stand on it, I think. Oh, what's wild about their genetics? I forget the actual number, but apples, I think, have about 40 some odd chromosomes. Please don't quote me on that. but they have a whole lot of chromosomes. And because of that, apples never, well, some people say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when talking about kids taking after their parents. The thing is with apple trees though, the kid, like the actual like seeds, differ wildly from the parent. Every variety of apple that you've ever had has been cloned from a graft. Well, so there's a thing called grafting with trees, which I think most people here are familiar with, but that's where you take a branch off and then you stick it on a root of some other. Usually with grafting, they use 2 separate trees. My last apple tree growing has small green apples on it. It attracts deer. Mom used to make apple jelly out of them. Yeah, or even like cider. A lot of those apples that you're talking about are usually, if you have like small apples that are like really tart, those are usually a better cider apple versus like a large, well, the types of apples you would see like in grocery stores. Grocery store apples actually don't make for good cider. They're a little bit too big and sweet, but yeah, every single Granny Smith apple tree that's ever existed has come from a tree that just grew in Australia, and I think it grew in like someone's grandma's backyard, and they were like, huh, that is a weird looking apple right there, and it has a very peculiar taste to it. So they took grafts from that tree, and those grafts and that DNA, basically like all apples are like clones of each other as far as like a similar variety. Yeah, like plants have wild genetics, and that's why sometimes on like seed packets you'll see stuff like hybridized, where a crop is pollinated from 2 parents. Well, it's from 2 varieties. Those hybrids are usually high performing plants, but you can't save seed from the hybrid because it won't breed true. Ah, it used to be a whole apple orchard. Yeah. That's kind of like the thing with like apples is like they're all clones, they're all grass. Whereas if I were to grow a persimmon, I could take a persimmon seed, stick it in the ground, and it'll be pretty close to what the persimmon that I took the fruit from. But with apples, it's pretty wild. The whole Rosaceae family, which includes peaches and nectarines, plums, cherries. I don't think anyone here eats hawthorns, but hawthorns are edible. There's almonds. I could probably, if I spent enough time thinking about it, I could probably think of more commercially available food crops that hail from the Rosaceae family. But yeah, actually a thing I literally learned today is nectarines are well, I think most people probably know that nectarines are very similar to a peach, but nectarines are actually like a type of peach fruit, like an actual like type of peach fruit. Like one of the wild things I learned was every peach tree will make like 1 to 2 nectarines a year just naturally, whereas you can use grafting to select a branch that just like naturally makes nectarines to like actually make like a nectarine tree. But you could just go to a standard like peach tree, and if you went through all the fruit that was harvested in say like 1 year, you'd probably find 1 to 2 nectarines, just natural, which is wild. But yeah, plants are fun. Plants are a lot of fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my water. Oh, that's fun. Tea kettle makes the lights flicker. So I'll get some tea going here. And I gotta think about this monster. Because this monster has an overflowing abundance of nails in it. So I can use my traditional tools, or I can consider sawing this, which honestly, either choice is valid. Plants chill. Plants chill, you're all doing too much. Oh, that's just plants just trying to make sure that they have the genetic deck shuffled enough so they have all the tools. Well, in their case, plant tools are traits and things, stuff like that help them out. Okay. So, technically speaking, I was going to break this down, but considering the fact that it has additional nails, and it's going to take a lot more effort on my part to actually work with this, I'm actually not going to work with this. Not on stream. I'll actually dismantle this guy on off stream. But, yeah, because I'm wanting to make 2 apple crates. Because I want to get 2 varieties of apple, and I'm gonna use both. I'm gonna use a mix of the varieties to make my cider later. So I need to have 2 crates, and also I had like 2 of these like oil furnace pallets. Well, I gotta go. Enjoy your streams. Can't wait to see another. Bye. Okay, Yoshinaru, you have a good rest of your day. Take care. All that fun stuff. Because actually, I was actually going to say, once I get my tea up to a decent temperature, which it's really close, I'm actually going to hit the BRB screen and hit the little homesteader's room because, yeah, tea goes through me. It goes through it anyway. But hey, that's fine. That's fine. So, let me get my tea poured because, well, I have cables in places where I don't usually have cables because I actually chose to move my iPhone from its usual location to a different one to improve the tracking experience. Okay. So with all my tea made, I'm going to throw on the BRB screen and I'm going to be right back. And I'm back. So, this is going to get backburnered. But I want to start grabbing my boards here. And let's see, I just need a couple. Actually, these are going to be very useful for what I wish to do. So, the thing is, I'm going to have to cut this stuff down. Because one of these pallets, just one of these guys, is stupidly heavy. And I don't... What's the point of a crate if it's so heavy I can't put stuff in it and then move it? I don't want my container being too heavy. Now, I am planning on doing a little bit of planing to these boards. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that on stream or not. I'm not going to do it today because I need access to that, and I don't have really good access to it today. But I wanna figure out my rough dimensions, essentially. So I am considering taking these and cutting these in half. So if I were to cut this in half, it's just a little bit over 4 feet across. How big are you guys? And you guys are a little bit more than 2 feet. So I want to figure out, how big do I want my crate? That's what I want to know. I want to figure that out, which I am thinking about. Let's see. Do I want to have a foot here? If I've got a foot, that's a pretty... Because I'm thinking about maybe doing these in 1 foot increments, and then doing my long boards in like 2 feet, just to make it simple for me. And also I'll be able to get a lot more wood, because then I'm just cutting these guys in half. Essentially, yeah. I'm gonna have to be... Do I have the giant Sharpie from earlier? I need to grab a Sharpie, actually. I need to grab a Sharpie. I cannot do what I think, because... So, since I'm planning on planning these boards later, this is my 1 nail. Oh wait, why did it... So I'm just putting a little bit of a mark, kind of make it a little bit more visible that, hey, there's a thing there. I don't want to ruin the planer blade. Well, I don't want to have to sharpen one. So I've got some, because I am thinking about using these for the sides, but I can afford to be picky. I don't like that guy because that guy has split in it, which is fun. And the interesting thing about these is these are actually reasonably straight. These are reasonably straight boards. Okay, cool. That's 2 feet long. So, pencil. Hello, pencil. Come here. Because not entirely. I mean, my ends are kind of fine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a little bit of a mark, then speed square. It's going to help me take my mark and bring it across. And then that's going to be a cut line for me. Now, the issue is support. But where there's a homesteader, there is a way. Because, granted, I'm actually really interested in trying this out. Because if so, this makes my life very easy. But with these spacer blocks, I have two. I've got both sides of my board supported, which is what I want. Yoink. And hello, handsaw pin. Wow. we go. Hansel-kun. Now, let's see if I can do a decent job sawing today. Don't do that. Yeah. Why do I grip? Why won't I grip this? It's when I grip it with my left hand, it feels like it's driving a splinter in. And I've got a splinter somewhere. Is that it? Oh, ooh. Is that it? Ah, that feels better. That feels better. Oh. I think I can do myself a favor. I'm thinking about, because I am a huge fan of positioning. I sincerely believe in the power of positioning, because that's going to be a good stop for that. That needs to get out of the way, and now all I need is some handy dandy clamps. Hello, clamps. You ready to bail your buddy Sugi out again? Because I am definitely the sort of individual who lives and dies by the clamp. And then I also should probably be smart and let's see. One wheel locked. Can I lock the other wheel? I've got one of my wheels on the cart locked, so it's a little bit more not super moving. Okay. Come here. Okay. Holy smokes. That is just so not going anywhere. Which is great, because that means I get to use two hands now. That's probably what I should have done in the get-go. Set things up so I can use two hands. In now. And we're gonna get through, yeah. I miss you, Circular Saw-kun. I miss you so much. One clamp off. Second clamp off. And there we go. Let's see here. So those are my cut edges. And lined up. Looking pretty. Got a pretty good flush on this side. Now, I'm wondering, do I want to clean these edges up? Because fresh sawn, not fresh sawn. And I'm going to base my decision off of how much wood I have to work with. So, one is ever so slightly, well, So I do have a slight difference in my wood, because it was a little bit more than 2 feet. But this one, top one, that is perfectly 1 foot. So I think what I'm gonna do here is walk. I'm gonna set this up again. And then I'm actually gonna use my top block as a reference. So that way when I cut through the one below it, I can make them both. I essentially want to make them both the same height, because they're going to be going on the inside. If this thing will let me do it. Let's see. Because it's... I don't think that's going to let me do it. Not unless I were to do it at a slight angle or something. Okay. Well, I tried. Honestly, I think I'd be slightly more successful if I were to do it on Vice. Granted, if I have a little bit of variability with my sides, that's fine. So that's... we can call that some lumber. So we've got some lumber. And then for this guy, a reasonably clean edge here. I like the idea of working with the side. We're gonna figure out where 2 feet gets us. Right there. Okay. Then, time for speed square. And we have line. Have line will saw. And what I really almost would love to do, versus I don't want to get splinters, is because I got this one board down here, right in the far corner. It's going to be like a stop when I go to saw, but I just don't have room. But I think I will actually I'll throw one clamp. We'll do one clamp for now, just to kind of like help hold it. I've also been staring at this tea for a while. It's making me thirsty, man. And then these blocks can go away. So let's see what we can do here. It's a little bit of an unconventional setup, but I'm not a conventional VTuber, so. And speaking of which, it's wanting to chip. Wood's wanting to chip very badly. Also, it feels like it's compressing my blade. And I'm not getting a real straight cut out of this too. I'm gonna have to flip it around. Start from the other side. I curved my kerf a little bit too much. Granted, it was also being real chippy when I was first cutting. He was being like really chippy on me. And then it's kind of got a little bit too much of an angle for what I like. And I'm really hoping to avoid this knot. Because, well, knots are not fun, especially cutting, especially with hand tools. Which I think what I might do is we'll do. There we go. And get a little. Actually, wait a second. I could have. There's also a second way I could have done that. Man, there's always more than one way to cut a board. Okay, so let's start off nice and easy. Nice and easy. Too excited, too excited. Back it off, buddy. Pinching in my second curve. But you know what? I'll take it. So, not perfect, but it is going to equal a job done. And that's what I'm aiming for at the end of the day. Yep. Yep. Okay. So, there we go. A little bit more than a 2-foot piece. Do I wanna? I have a little bit of a stub here. Still got a little bit of a stub, but it's not a bad amount of stub. Now, granted, if I had my sweet power tools, it could have worked out so much better. Okay, so I now got to figure out what's 2 feet of this, and can I get this knot out? Because I would like to get the knot out. So it's either I'm going to have the knot at my end, or I'm taking a chunk off the side. How squirrely am I today? Do I want to try and cut through a knot? I have a really nice clean edge on one side, which is really pushing me towards the option of cutting through a knot. Maybe not the best. Probably not going to be the best decision I make today, but hey, it's a decision I make today. There's worse decisions to be made. Like drinking too much alcohol. That's the worst decision. Because then it just kind of ruins the next day. I wish I could do this like... Well, actually, what? That's... spicy. It's spicy, but... Actually... It's spicy, but it might work. Who are you? Yeah, you're... Wait, what? No, you're one of... Oh gosh, I should label. I need the label. So I'm going to put an L for the long sides. And then for the pieces that are going to be my short sides, and put S. Which, I'm having weird thoughts. That is a weird thought. Okay. Interesting. Oh boy. Well, I'm glad I always take time to evaluate. Always take time to evaluate, chat. And then I want to reposition this on that. Then I actually need to grab clamps and not bang my knee on things. Because I'm going to clamp my pallet to my thing down here. There we go. So that's going to be that. And we're going to try and make a cut. Let's start off nice and easy. And just try to bring that curve straight across. Ooh, that smell. Definitely fine, all right. Whoa! Had my doubts. I think I pulled through on that. Sweetums. So we got a couple boards cut, which is good. Now, wait. What we got? Can I release? I want to open that up just a hair, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So, overall, you know what? For being slightly awkward of a setup and then having that knot in the center, granted, that smells amazing. That smells amazing. I think it's time to do some evaluating. So, I need to grab my shorts, because what I'm going to do here is I wish to just visualize for a moment. Because that's roughly that. Then I have this other long piece. And then that long piece is going to go into that. And I'm just trying to trying to look at that. I think that's going to be a reasonably sized crate. So that's 1 foot inside by 2 feet outside. That's crate. That's a decent amount of crate. Now, the next step I want to figure out is my height. So, for height, I need my gap between my two boards. I can't have an apple falling out. So I'm thinking 2-inch gap. Let's see, can I get a 2-inch gap on either side? That's roughly 2 inches. Then that will make the height of the thing 9 3/4. So from bottom to top would be 9 3/4, which I don't think is a lot. So I want to entertain another idea. Where's idea 2? Oh, there you are, idea number 2. Come here, idea number 2. So I have these lumbers. This is also from Pallet. It is exhibited by previous nail holes. Can confirm is from Pallet, but this one's actually this is a slightly more. So this is like cheap Pallet, and then there's like this Pallet. As you can kind of see, there is a I don't know. Is it same? I feel like this piece is slightly better. It's slightly better. This is probably thicker by like like a 1/16 of an inch or something. But ooh. But these are short. But that's fine. I have long versions of these I can cut. Because how long? What's your size? Yeah, you're 22.5. But I'm thinking something like that, adding these boards in the center, which I actually do like it as an aesthetic thing. Also, I can make a smaller gap for the crate. So I'm actually liking that. Because what I'll probably do, because these are the short boards of this pallet wood, I also have long versions. This is a long version from that pallet. You are just a hair over 4 feet, which is great. Because that means I can get two 2-footers out of you. Out of that. So these I'll probably cut down to, what I'll probably do is actually cut out the part, well, I don't know if I'll preserve nail holes or not. Not entirely sure there, but I will cut this down to the point where I have just 1 foot. But I do like the idea of building the box like this, where it's like there's gonna be a bottom, top, mid, all that. So what's my height? And that makes a height of 13 inches. Which I think this is going to make for, it's going to be like a sizable crate, but it's not going to be like super big, which is what I want. Because I want to keep all my dimensions similar-ish. So, with, aww, marker bled through. I was actually going to write on the back of that. Okay. Well, that's what scrap paper is for. There we go. Get ourselves this one. The scripts. So, what I want to do here is we're going to do that's just going to be like a top down. We'll do 12 inches. Okay, not 25, it'll be 24. And then, now this is probably why I should learn a little bit more drawing. In the front view of the thing, be 13 inches height, its width, and its length. So I feel like in terms of just getting a general visualization, also just marking off my progress. I feel like marking off progress is very important. for doing what I wish to do. So we've got we got a little bit more of a vision. So pretty happy with that. You're one of my cuts, right? Yeah, you're one of my cuts. Let's get an L on you. Because, oh yeah, actually, since we're also visualizing, I'm going to need parts. I'm going to need a part list. So I'm going to do OF for oil furnace pallets. That's essentially all the wood you're seeing right here. So for the 2-foot pieces, I'm going to need 1 on the bottom. Well, actually what we're going to do is slat. Well, this isn't technically the view for that. That's the view for that. Because we're going to have 3 slats. So I want 8 for 1, because there's basically going to be 4 facing you and then like 4 on the back. No, I only need 4. So I need, which also I should probably get a measurement of the width of this thing. It's 3 1/4. We'll call it 4 inch. So we'll call these the 4 inch by 24 inch for 4. Because also what I'm wanting to do, because there are going to be a need for bottom slats, I am really considering using these guys for the bottom slats because, well, it's cheap and it's available. But I think with the way I'm cutting these guys down, the oil furnace pallets, what I'm thinking is I can either run slats long ways, use long way slats, or I can use short wave slats. So I can either have my slats running like this way, long way, or we can go the short way route, which I'm kind of leaning towards short way route because short way route, I put one of these on the corners. It's gonna hold up pretty good. Granted, I need to also keep in mind when I do the slats, all my dimensions are inside dimensions, not outside dimensions. So the floor slats are gonna have to be a little bit longer than these pieces that are gonna be for the side, because these side pieces are just going straight into that. And that's gonna keep me from having like, because if I do my joint like this, my butt's facing outside. I don't like my butt facing outside. I'm gonna have my butt on the inside. Which, by the way, when you connect 2 boards like this, it's called a butt joint. So, I'm gonna want that for 4. And then, what is my oil? So, I'm gonna want 4 inch by 12 inch. Then I'm gonna want 4 for that. And then I'm gonna use OF for oil furnace pallet, but I'm gonna use OP for other pallet. And then other pallet, it's probably 4 inches, nearly 4 inches exactly. Okay. So, he said, but great. It's good to see that I'm not the only one with a mature sense of humor. But for these guys, I only need 2. I only need 2, and this is just getting me my side pieces. Because I'm gonna do the bottom last. Bottom's last. So that's a part list for my main sides. Now I have this pallet lumber. May remember this pallet lumber from earlier because I was pointing out the staples in it. Staples. And the thing is, for a lot of crates, usually, so why do I want to visualize things for chat always? Just because I'm a visual learner? Yeah, we'll chalk it up to me being a visual learner. Something like that. So usually for most crates, rest. So you'll have a connection like this. But, and once again, that's the magic word, you will have an additional piece of wood here, which I can use to nail. I can use this piece to nail this into that, and then this piece is also what allows me to like stack my boards together, is what this is going to do for me. So I'm going to cut a couple out of this. One of my original ideas I thought about was taking these guys, cut a corner out, and then use that, but these aren't long enough. Because the biggest thing that these boards do for me is they allow me to connect the upper series of slats. These are basically what are going to hold the whole crate together. It's actually a really important job. So, and I'm going to need 4 of those guys, but I've got staples. I have staples that need to get removed. Wretched, wretched, wretched staples. That are also a pain. Because they're so dang long. Holy smokies. But yeah, really long staples. Very undesirable characteristic. Actually, I know why they use the long staples. Because it allows you to build things cheaply. Yeah. Why are they called pliers and not prayers? I don't know. I actually don't know. Who knows? Maybe I don't want to know because English is such a terrible language. Okay. So I don't want to. So when I pry up on this screwdriver in my left hand, I don't want it to dig into and mar the wood. That's why I have screwdriver number 2. I saw that bending my screwdriver. Damn bastards. Actually, wait a second. Is that? And then this is thicker, so it's not going to bend as much, but I can't squeeze it in because it's too small. The sweet, sweet joys of staples. And there's nothing easy about this. Screw you, staples, and your easy button. There we go. Doot. But this other one's more out, so that makes my life pretty easy. And then, there we go. This whole country is built on, well, whoops, descended from something bad. America in a nutshell? Yeah. That's this country in a nutshell. I'm actually curious about the length on this. Ah, I see, I see. Okay. So, not quite 3 feet. But that's fine. That is fine. Because I'm going to want 4 of these guys. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them at 12.5 inches. The reason I want to cut them at 12.5 inches, even though my height is 13, I kind of want the top to be slightly recessed a little bit in the crate. So that way it will essentially rest at the bottom. I missed the schematic. How tall are the crates? 13 inches. Granted, I'm not sure if you want to review the schematics, because right now this is the extent of the schematics. There's not a lot of detail here, just enough for me to like keep track of parts and general dimensions, because I'm just basically like free handling this. Widgets wooden crates. They're just a big box, which I do need to grab some measurements, because I think these are essentially what, like a 1x2. So it's true. It's a little bit over 2 in this dimension, but it's 1.5 in this dimension. Great. I'm just going to call it a 2x2. I'm going to call it a 2x2 as far as the schematics are concerned. So this is going to fall under the definition of, it's going to be a 2-inch. We're going to do 12.5 inches long. And we're going to want 4 of them. So I'm going to work on cutting these guys out, which is these funnies, these fun peoples, these fun lumbers. Because I think judging by how things are going, what I'll probably do is I'll get these 4 pieces cut out, and I'll probably end stream for the day. And then I'll go have lunch. Lunch is a good thing to have. Boy, you. Ha! I caught it. Hey, chat, is this scrap or firewood? For now, I'm gonna consider leaning it towards firewood. Okay. So with this piece set up, I can just move on straight to the next cut. No, I'm on my line. I thought I was leaving it. Let's stay on the line, buddy. Almost there. I just don't want to cut my other piece of wood there. And I'm so close, and yet so far. Well, oh, that's one of the reasons I'm pinching. Oh, come on. A little bit of tear out. But hey. This is a pallet wood build. Now I like how parallel the wood grain is, though. Real nice parallel wood grain. Pine. Sweet, sweet pine. Okay. Let's see here. Ooh. Oh. I looked at one side of this guy and it was like, yay, there's no staples. And then flipped it over and it was like, oh no, there's staples. Womp womp. I can't always dodge the staples. Yeah. Granted, those are pulling fairly well so far. Well, I asked for an hour of rain, and I think I'm getting my hour of rain. Granted, this also means I might have to worry about mowing the yard soon. But it's ever so slightly easier to mow the yard than it is the water. There we go. Thank you, pliers. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see here. Now, time for the tricky one. Because this one's kind of like really on the edge. I can't leverage down as well as I would like. But can we death roll it? Good old Florida alligator death roll. Just like Grandpappy taught me. I also like the fact this has also got some smooth sides on it. So I can have those on the inward facing part of the thing. Let's see. Let's not worry about that. Let's just get some measurements. Why am I so good at putting my marking tool so far away from me? I'm so good at that. And that's also not something I should be proud of. How dare I be proud of that? Two. Oops, all staples. Sir, don't you be talking like that. Don't be talking like that. We don't appreciate that kind of negativity at this homestead. And don't say it because you're being like, you're trying to be like realistic or something. Because, yeah, I don't want to have to deal with too many staples. Especially considering the fact I'm using hand tools. I don't want to. I don't wish to mar any of my tools. Especially this guy. I don't want to have to replace this guy. I like this guy. I've had a lot of good times with this guy. Alright. Close enough for homesteader work. Are you save the line, leave the line, or cut the line person? So I'd say generally speaking, I'm gonna cut the line. That's actually what I'm doing right now. But depending on the project and the level of accuracy I want, like if I wanted to have a little bit more accuracy with what I was doing, I would say leave the line. I love the occasional GoPro glitches. Then, oh man, that's just gonna be. Actually, got an idea. It's gonna be better than last time. Actually, I could do that, but nah, I want a little bit wider room. Reasonable I tend to be a keep the line person. Yeah. Like, that's just the thing. It just depends on the job and what you're trying to do. Sweet. Now I have a gap. I would have liked having that gap the first time I was cutting these. Sweet. It's supported. Now it's just a matter of finding the tool. Okay. Woo. Feels like it's pension. And it's definitely shaking too much. Which is, there's a solution for that. And the solution to that is the friends we made along the way. And there we go. That's the thing with this guy. Ba, ba, ba. Whoa! Holy smokes! This tree was growing like a madman. Like, here, let's give you guys a sense of scale here. Like, this is. Like, let's see here. Between this set of growth, holy smokes! Look at that, 3/4 of an inch between growth rings. That's wild. This feller was growing, like, compared to like my other piece. Like, the difference is like night and day on the growth rings on this guy. That's wild. That is just a wild amount of, like, distance between growth rings. Like, good great. Wow. I don't think I've seen, like, lumber that's had, like, that much room in between growth rings. Okay. Well. But yeah, I'd say it's been a pretty good, solid morning. I had a good little bit of fun. Didn't get all the pieces cut out or all the pieces taken care of. I'm not entirely sure if for these pieces if I'm gonna do the hand planing on stream. I do want to give them a little bit of hand planing just because of how moldy looking they are. So, but I am going to work on that. I don't know if I'm going to do it on stream or not. I do know that for next week, my general plans are then Miracle Trees. Dude, I'm telling you, like, if you can get like 3/4 of an inch in between your growth rings, like, that's insane. That's just wild. But hey, I mean, that's kind of also, sometimes you see neat stuff when you work with pallet wood. Generally speaking, it's miserable. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be breaking this pallet down off stream, and then yeah, I might do a little bit of work on it. I'm not entirely sure how much. I still got a fair amount of board dimensioning to go. Yeah, I still have a fair amount of board dimensioning to go, so I don't think it's going to be anything hard. It's just going to be something I have to work at, and I will be, of course, following the rules of this build. Because I did say I would do a hand tool stream, and hey, it's just been hand tools. So, even though, man, if I had access to my brand new battery operated Makita circular saw, I could have just made really quick work of a lot of this. Or I could have even used miter saw cone. If I wanted to be stupid, I could use the chainsaw. It would be real funny to do a build where I can only make my cuts with the chainsaw. That would be funny, but also like, whoo, that would be work. It'd be a lot of layout work. I like the rules. Well, I do like challenging myself, so that's the point of the rules, is to, like, you know what? As far as like complexity of a build, like I'm making like slat wood crates. Like, it's not a hard thing to make. It's just I'm just going down. It takes more work than I would need to put into it than versus if I had actually. It just takes more sweat equity, which isn't a big deal. So, but yeah, I will. Next week is going to be 2 cooking streams, because my supermarket sent me a whole bunch of recipes in the mail yesterday, and one of my game plans for next week, granted, my schedule might come out late because it just depends on whether or not I can acquire something I want to acquire, which is going to be one of the things I'm going to do after this, is see if I can acquire the thing I wish to acquire. So, with all that, I'd like to say thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. I hope you had a good morning with me here today, doing a little bit of woodworking, mostly a whole lot of pallet breaking down. But it was reasonably good fun. Definitely a fine day to spend a lovely Sunday morning, and I also got a nice bit of rain, which is very nice, very lovely. And so, with all that, I hope everyone out there has a great rest of your day, morning, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at, and hopefully I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye!